Hi, welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophia, pilot into the universe of Chinese. Let's continue our exploration into this amazing ancient language. 抢手货 is my topic today, and it's quite frequently used expression because in today's marketing heavy society or consumer economy, this is one of the major things that you want to know, like which are hot items out there. So this is Chinese response to put together an expression that quite vividly depicting if they are hot items, they're like hot merch, people's behavior to them. They are going to rob. They are to hand rob this merch if they are that good. Okay, so that's Chinese hot item thing. Okay, 抢. Okay, you have the hand symbol, and actually I couldn't find the original ancient Chinese depiction of this 抢, so I have to piece together the two symbols together. Hand symbol, you can count 5-finger hand, and the middle finger is erected. It doesn't really do the middle finger thing. Chinese have no significance to middle finger whatsoever. So this is extra bending over here. Totally is a differentiator because we have a very similar looking, that means fur. That means hair going horizontally instead of draping or pointing upward, going horizontally. So that depicts the puffiness or a little bit anti-gravity feature of the fur or hair. And it looks kind of similar to this hand symbol. So somebody have come up with this this differentiator. Pointing toward the right is the hand, pointing toward the left is the hair. Okay, there you go, a hand symbol incorporated into this icon. And this icon, the right side of the icon is 仓. Well, in the surface reading of 仓, it would be, okay, the left side is meaning maker because it's related to hand motion, the rob thing, right? You have to do it with your hand. The right side is a sound maker, is 仓, kind of a C, A-N-G in the pronunciation marker. So oftentimes when the sound maker incorporated into another character, some part of it get carried over. And this 枪 sounds like 仓, right? Okay. Anyways, 仓 means warehouse. It looks almost like a warehouse, right? With the roof, like that. And then this circle means the door to the warehouse or the entrance to the warehouse. And this is another bigger entrance. I guess entrance have two types of entrance. One is major big entrance, and the small one is small opening underneath. This means entrance is because ancient times, there are one door and the two panel door. So one panel door, they look the same, like a kind of looking like this shape. And if you have two of them facing each other, like a symmetrical, facing each other, that's two panel door, pronounced as men. And now if you take one off, only the left side, that's one panel door with one side on the hinge, right? Two panel door would be this on the hinge, kind of open like that, right? So one side on the hinge, and one panel door, it means like just a narrow door. Mostly the door size, like if you have one panel or two panel, is related to the status, financial status of that household. Richer families are going to have this grand looking door. So, I mean, if you notice some of the ancient Chinese architecture of some palace thing, of course, the emperor has the biggest door, most luxurious door, and whoever aspire to display their wealth are going to spend quite some money on their door decoration. And so this door, double door, for the majority of the population are not going to afford. So single door, this hu, is more often used. So apparently this warehouse definitely doesn't deserve a double door treatment. So single panel door with a smaller opening. Together, it depicts the ancient food storage situation. It gotta be sheltered from the weather, and it gotta be entered somehow. So with the door comes with it. So now you have the hand, which signifies something related to hand motion. And the right side is a warehouse. What is, and now contemporary English means rob. What do you think is happening there? Probably it's starving people, robbing, instead of a bank robbing, because ancient times probably bank not existing yet. Warehouse, food storage, robbing is the main thing to rob because people are starving, or food in itself can serve as a sort of currency, right? Either food or what everybody needs, and you can exchange that for something else. So this warehouse robbing, handle the warehouse over here means rob in Chinese. Okay, we have hand, and now we have merch. So merchandise in Chinese, how we express that. There are two readings of that. Okay, even if it looks like a left and right structure, it looks like there is a person symbol. So this thing, two-leg standing being is a person or human. That's the definition I mean, that's a visual representation of Chinese of a human two-leg standing being, without any depiction of his age or his gender or his social status, without any depiction of that. Just come to the core, everybody is equal, two-leg standing being. Okay, and now this side, you look, it kind of looks similar, right? Structurally, except there is a little bit up to the corner over there. But it means, it looks like this flipped over. Well, I cannot kind of flipped over and twisted, kind of like that, right? So it's the same thing, but the language treatment of that is it flipped over and then rotate 90 degrees to create similar structure, but it's not exactly a mirror image as well. So there are two readings up there. One is, well, let me explain the third component. Okay, so this and this are kind of related, right? It's a human and then flipped human. And then the bottom right structure, this space with two horizontal lines with two little legs, that's an ancient depiction of shells, seashells. So seashells was said to be used as currency at some point in history. So before the government issued molded coins as currency, or some private bank issued notes, the seashells was once used as the commonly accepted currency, probably because it was long-lasting enough and kind of hard to get hand to enough, because how are you going to get the seashells? You got to have a coastline to have some sea animals in there. China only have one side of, imagine a box shape of China, right? Only one side is coastline. The rest of the three sides are landlocked. So to have access to sea products is not that easy. So I can imagine why in ancient times people use seashells. Right? Not exactly like a gold, right? Because gold, dig from mineral, dig it out of the earth is quite an endeavor as well. Ancient times access to seashells is also quite an effort, at least transportation wise, or the actual getting it from the sea. In ancient technology, probably it's not that easy. So seashells was used eventually to mean money, to used to be a currency, and then that got immortalized in the language. The seashells then become the symbol of currency. Okay, so we have money symbol here. Okay, you can imagine the US dollar sign, but that's Chinese seashell currency representation. Now we have person symbol, and a flipped person next to it. So two versions of it. One, you can view it as two traders in exchange with currency involved. And currency was visualized, but there was this transaction that's currency in exchange for merchandise, right? So that merchandise was missing out on this picture because merchandise could be any kind of things that's useful for people. So only currency was expressed here. So the missing part was implied here. Therefore, the whole character points to actually the unsaid, unvisualized part. That's the currency in merchandise. So merchandise in exchange of currency in the two-person represented back-to-back person represented traders symbol. So there is this act of exchanging or trade happening in there. That's one version. The second version is this person symbol with the flipped and then rotated for person symbol together. These two forms the meaning of change, because Chinese, how are you going to express something related to time? We only have a 2D form of space to represent the world. How are you going to express their time lapse in between? Because time is the fourth dimension. For 3D to, for 2D to capture 3D world, it's already kind of abstraction and projection and simplification in the process. It's already not easy, but how to capture the fourth dimension, which is the time factor. Chinese use this rotation and flipping, this sort of this same thing, but over time. It got to be over time, right? This person got flipped, got rotated. It's still that person in structure, but it's changed. It doesn't look the same anymore. And that's Chinese way to capture the fourth dimension, time. That is in this combination of these two, that pronounced as hua, and that means change or transformation. Amazing. I have to say, Chinese language, in that sense, 2D to capture 4D is quite an imaginative solution, creative solution. Okay, so now we have money and we have change. Again, we can infer that this we're talking about, this money, handhold currency, which can be changed into anything else that you want. So this money, okay, let's let's try to have some fun with the language. We know monetization, right? Monetization is to change something else to money. And in this case, we're talking about money change to everything else. So if we're talking about merch, it could be merchandization. The opposite process of monetize is merchandise. So you invest in resources of money, right? Going back to the circle, money in and then merchandise out. So this, again, merchandise was not visually representative here, but logically, the language creator show you, okay, it's money going to be changed into something else. And what that something else is? Merchandise. That's a logical deduction of how we can, just by looking at these three elements on the 2D frame, can deduce that actually means merchandise. I hope you get it. I have two ways. One is depicting the trading process itself. The other one is tell you the result of trading, is convert money into something else. And that something else is the subject matter here, is merchandise that we're talking about. Okay, so 抢手货 means you have to handle it, meaning personally, you have to go there, put your hand on there and rob it from the shelf. Of course, it's not about stealing, but the merchandise is so appealing, so popular, so trendy, you have to have it. And that's a Chinese way to say bestseller. That's something you have to own it. So bestseller, this English expression is talking from the seller point of view. For the seller, it's the best one. That's the most popular among its buyers. But the 抢手货 actually in Chinese is from the buyer's perspective. Like as a buyer, I have to put my hand in there and rob it from the shelf. And that's a Chinese depiction of bestseller. It's from two sides, but we're talking about the same thing. It's hot items flying off shelf. So easily we can see that this famous brand could be like one of them or two of them could be bestsellers, somehow get popular, which in itself is an interesting subject matter. Like why, of all these different colors and shapes and different, probably slightly different functions, why something get hotter than other things, right? That itself is a interesting marketing process. All right, so that's Chinese 抢手货. Cashing into the critical thinking by one word a day, so see you another day.